everyone, Julia from Sunday Sounds here. Let's take a look at our patch designed in the style of the Little Drummer Boy as originally performed by For King and Country. We play this song in its original key of D and at its original tempo of 104 BPM. This patch has strings, arps, bass, synth, bells, and more. We use the mod wheel to bring in some of those arps and build intensity throughout the song. Your left hand will be playing octave bass notes for most of the song, dropping the single notes in either the high or low octaves at times. Your right hand will play short riffs for brass and strings and a bell riff up high. For the intro, you'll have your mod wheel up at 100. Your left hand will play single notes in the lowest octave. You'll hold out the 1 of your key for 2 bars, and then the right hand will come in with the suspension up higher. Here's what that intro sounds like. The refrain is played the exact same way as the intro. The mod wheel will be at 100 for every refrain, and this will come after every chorus. The second and third time you play the refrain, I like to add in the high octave in my left hand. This brings in a bell arp and some higher strings to build that section. For the down verse, you'll bring your mod wheel back down to 0. You'll begin by playing single notes in the high octave with your left hand. The beginning part of the verse holds out the 1 of your key. As soon as you switch to the next chord, the minor 2, you'll add in the low octave in your left hand. This will bring in the bass and some string arps. Your right hand won't do anything for verse 1. For the medium verse, the mod wheel will be about 1/3 of the way up. For this verse, you can begin by playing octave bass notes with your left hand. Your right hand will be playing a bell riff that begins up high when you move to the minor 2 of your key. This riff will last throughout the rest of the verse. It happens pretty quickly, so I'll play it slowly for you. This bell riff is pretty long, so let's break it down into 7 different short riffs. The first little riff you play is different from all the rest. It sounds like this. The second riff is similar, but with a few less notes, and you'll play this riff 2 times through. The third riff just changes 2 notes to match the chord changes that are happening underneath it. You'll play this riff just once. The fourth riff is the exact same as the second riff, and you'll play this again 2 times. The fifth riff adds in some higher notes. You'll play this one 2 times as well. The sixth riff is the same as the second and fourth riffs, and you'll only play this one once. The seventh and final riff is just slightly different than the previous, and you'll only play this one time. I'll play it all again for you and then add the left hand. For the big verse, you'll have the mod wheel about 2/3 of the way up. Your left hand will play octave bass notes throughout the entire verse. During the beginning part, your right hand will play suspended chords in the mid-range, which will trigger an arp. Again, once you reach the minor 2 of your key, your right hand will play the long riff we just learned. Here's what this whole verse will sound like. As always, feel free to simplify the parts if they are too difficult for you. You can always drop the right hand or continue playing chords in the middle section of the keyboard if the bell riff is too difficult. For the down chorus and every chorus, you'll drop the mod wheel all the way down to 0. Your left hand will play single notes in the high octave, holding the 1 of your key. I like to drop out my left hand towards the end of the chorus so that I have time to move the mod wheel up to 100 for the next section, which is the refrain. For the outro, I drop the mod wheel down to about 1/3 of the way up, and then I hold out the 1 of the key in the lowest octave. This outro lasts for about 4 bars, and there's a short bell riff that happens up high. So just to recap the different mod wheel positions, at 0 you'll have your down verse and your choruses. At 1/3 of the way up will be your medium verse and your outro. At 2/3 of the way up is your big verse. And then all the way at 100 will be your intro and every refrain. Now, before I let you go, I wanted to let you know that there's a Facebook group called Sunday Sounds Insiders, where you can find behind-the-scenes videos, sneak peeks, last-minute troubleshooting help, song patch polls, and so much more. It would be awesome to see you in there. Until then, I'm Julia with Sunday Sounds. See you next time!